All right. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Employability Skill Series. This is where we talk about the top skills employers are looking for in candidates. Each week, we will talk about different topics with different guests from the community. I am your host, Megan Morrow, Senior Associate Director of Employer Relations and Experiential Learning. And today I have Ashley Wooshapiti. Did I say that right?
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, I was practicing that. um, and she is you're the talent acquisition, right, for Lakeland with Northwestern Mutual. So for those of you that are joining the call, you'll see on the screen, I have a QR code. If you are joining from your laptop, please scan that QR code. If you're joining from your phone and you can't, I dropped a link in the chat pod. Please click on that link and that'll take you to Engage. Well, that will mark your attendance. So either scan the QR code or please click the link for your attendance to mark that. All right, so Ashley is currently employed with Northwestern Mutual Orlando Network Office. She is a transformative leader with a healthy dose of servant leadership philosophy and a knack for balancing strategic vision with everyday human realities. A forward thinker and adaptable problem solver, Ashley has a proven track record of driving initiatives that boost performance, nurture company culture, spark employee engagement, and deliver measurable organizations ROI, which stands for return on investment for those that don't know. A self-proclaimed data geek and spontaneous simile aficionado, Ashley is currently diving into the frontier of AI and human resources, aiming to become an HR AI integration leader who bridges emerging technology with practical and ethical people strategies. She holds a Bachelor of Business Administration and Human Resources Management from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and is pursuing her master's in Human Resources Management with an emphasis in public administration at Western Governors University. She is certified as a senior professional in human resources and holds the Certified Public Sector Human Resource Administration credential. That's a mouthful. She is active in her community, serving as the board of directors for Mid-Florida SHRM, which is that Human Resource Administration piece I was just saying, a member of the task or the Take Stock in Children with Polk County School Public Schools and engage in Lakeland's various civic groups. So welcome, Ashley. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. And for those of you that were in class, she looks like a familiar face. She was just speaking in class with us about our personal finances. So again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Ashley, is there anything else you'd like to share with us about yourself?
First and foremost, thank you for allowing me to be here with you guys. Time is precious, of course. And I am a spontaneous smiley aficionado. So I love seeing smileys out in the world. It brightens my day, even on the most gloomiest of days. I have a true passion for human resources and business management, but I also love connecting people with other people. That's probably one of my biggest passions in life. So if there's anything I could potentially help you with out there, feel free to connect with me out on LinkedIn and see if I can potentially be a resource for you and your students.
Awesome. I think I said simile instead of smiley, so thank you for correcting me. I was kind of going through that. Okay, so smiley aficionado. Awesome. Okay, so today we are talking about time management. So what is that? Why is that important? Did you have a presentation you were going to share with us, or you
Do.
do? Okay, so let me make you a co-host then, and I'll let you take over.
Hey,
There you go. All right, so the floor is yours, my friend.
excellent. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see.
Oh, let me stop sharing mine then. Okay.
All right, so I would like to share my screen here and bear with me as I start my slideshow. There we go. Are you guys able to see my slides here? We're
I,
understanding your time management personality today. So one thing that here we go. I want you to refer back to the podcast interview that you guys had with Nikki Hops, the College Business Unit Director, for an excellent breakdown of what time management is, and its implementation strategies. Are you able to see that slide by chance?
I say understanding your time
Oh,
management personality is what I see.
okay. It's not showing then. I apologize. Come on, slides. All right, so we're going to go like this. We're going to improvise. All right,
Okay.
so please refer back to the podcast that um, Miss Maddow had with Nikki Hobbs because they broke down time management beautifully. There's a lot of really good things in their takeaways. And I figured I would take our time today and take it a little bit further and talk about our time management personalities. But the key takeaways from that episode was what does time management mean? That it was high level management strategies. She briefly touched on the ideal calendar, common excuses when it comes to time management, like why you didn't accomplish something or get a task done. She also highlighted that you want to make a plan, that you want to start small, and you want to build good, healthy habits. So, what is managing our own behaviors when it comes to time management? I'm going to break down a few of these for us today, and I want you to have a really good understanding of your time management personality. We've identified a few techniques that you can also complement the type of personality that you have. And with that, I want you in the next couple of minutes to sit and reflect, right? Self-reflection is something that sometimes we just don't do enough of. And I want you to think about these time management personalities. These are five of the more common ones, especially in college age, the collegiate and early professionals. So we have the filibuster, we have the perfectionist, we have the fire person, the overcommitter, and the easy chair personalities. But I also want you to realize that while we're self-reflecting, we also don't work in silos, right? We work with oftentimes with teams, whether that's a group project, ringing any bells out there, or you're working on cross-department collaborations in the professional world. So not only am I asking you to reflect on yourself, on your time management personalities, but I want you to reflect on those of your teammates as well. Because when you guys can have a fundamental understanding of how another person functions, especially when it comes to time management, you guys can use tools and resources to make it a better outcome versus oh my God, I have another group project that I have to do and I can't stand it. I'm sure somebody out there can relate to that. I want you to I want you to identify one of these and use it as a strength, not necessarily as a weakness, um, area of opportunity more so because there's tools and resources once you can identify these things on how to better implement in the future. So first, I want to talk about the fire person. Um, every event is a crisis. Oh my God, I can't talk to you right now. I'm super busy. I don't have time for that. Oh my gosh, who's calling me right now? I don't have time for that. This is our fire person. Even if they don't verbalize it, this is something maybe that they're thinking on the inside and they're getting anxious and they're getting those knots in the neck. They're so busy putting out fires that they seem to overlook the to-do list. That to-do list then piles up and piles up and piles up until it's like kindling until it just kind of explodes and you just kind of have a little bit of a breakdown like, oh my God, what is going on here? So um, I want to take a look at the next one, and this is the overcommitter. So again, you might find yourself maybe just one of these time management behaviors. You might find yourself in multiple categories. But somebody who falls into this bucket, chances are can't say no or is super uncomfortable with using the word no. These are people that somebody comes up to them and asks them, hey, can you help me on this project? I have an exam happening next week. Can you help me study? I really want to go out this weekend, even though you know you have other things you need to accomplish. But yeah, no, not a problem. I'm going to go out with you. Maybe you're part of a school organization and they need a chair member or a board member, and you say, okay. So that's this type of busy, this type of personality. They're so busy, they don't even have time to write down all the things that they actually have to do. The next is the easy chair. These are people that are so laid back, it may interfere with their ability to actually finish tasks. or even return a simple phone call or text message. Rather than managing their time, they tend to simply just avoid tasks altogether, and I'll get to them when I get to them. And then you have your filibusters. This is our fourth time management personality here. And these people are born to socialize. These are the people that'll come up and have a conversation with you for 5, 10 minutes. And you might be the type of person that's like, okay, I have stuff I have to get done. But that person just keeps talking. And it's usually because they have something else big that they need to accomplish. And this is their way to distract and avoid them, especially if there's an unpleasant task that needs to be completed. Increasingly as well, filibusters are not just people that like to talk. These are also my doom scrollers. So these are
Mm.
people that know they have something that that they need to accomplish, but instead they're on their phones and they're just scrolling because they don't want to face what's actually happening or what needs to be accomplished. So it's not necessarily socializing, but it's definitely an avoidant behavior. And then finally, in our list of five here, we have the perfectionist. A perfectionist has a compulsion to cross out all the T's, dot the I's, and the J's. Don't forget the J's. These people, the exactitude is kind of their downfall. They don't want to be rushed in the job that they're doing. They have to finalize that task before they hit submit. And these are also the people that need more time zones than actual time that they have, right? These are some of these people are like, if I just had some more time, I can get this accomplished. So I'm gonna take a quick pause here, and I want the individuals that are on this podcast or listening here in the future, where do you sit? Kind of reflect on one of those. Do you find yourself in one of those buckets? Do you find yourself in a couple of those buckets? I know I am guilty of being in some of those buckets myself. Megan, do you fall into any of those buckets yourself at
I am,
times?
oh gosh, I'm definitely the perfectionist. I like it causes me anxiety. And even though like I know it's not healthy and I know it's not realistic, like I'm in grad school and like I have a 98.6% in class and I'm like, why don't I have 100? Like it's stupid. Like, and I know that's not something that I need to attain. And for some reason, like I'm obsessing about missing that 1.5%, you know? And it's so yeah, I have to talk myself down off the ledge. Like, stop it. Like you worked hard, you did good. And I did my best. I'll tell my own students, I tell my own children, like, did you try your best? Yes, okay. Yeah.
Exactly. It's that
Yeah.
mindset. It's that mindset. And we see that when we reflect upon how we manage our time. We know time management is important, but we let these behaviors kind of get the best of us sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I'm going back and obsessing where I could have just moved forward. Yeah, and something else.
exactly. So let me kind of break down some of these on the higher level. I can get into a whole topic on this. Uh, I want you to learn something new about yourself. So what time management personality are you when you're thinking about this and reflecting upon it? Do you identify most with the filibuster? What challenges are you faced? Or do you think about someone you know is a filibuster? And how do they make you feel? Do you find yourself avoiding people because they have the filibuster time management type personality? And how can we kind of like work together when we have different, or maybe sometimes appearing conflicted time management behaviors or personalities? So we want to boost your productivity. There's four time management techniques that any one of you guys can implement starting today, immediately after this call. And you want to manage your behavior, but then again, you can produce more output when you're a little bit more structured with your time. And right now, when you went from high school to college, you had structure, you had teachers telling you exactly what you had to do, and you knew what kind of what you had to do to succeed. Then you're in college and you have classes that you have attend, but it's a little bit more relaxed. Nobody's going to force you to go to class. You know you have to if you want to get the material and if you want to earn the grade, but nobody's there twisting your arm, forcing you, nagging at you. get to class. So once you can identify some of these behaviors and set up tools for success, you're going to find that life even on campus is going to become easier. You're setting those good habits because you're building those good habits, which are going to translate out into the real world, translate into your professional careers once you leave school here. So first I want to start is identifying your most important task. It's your most urgent, it's not your most urgent task, but it is something that you find that is important. So urgent tasks tend to have looming deadlines. So your approach to them is going to be a little bit frenzied. Maybe you're a procrastinator, maybe you're somebody that's doing it immediately as soon as you're getting the task. Either you have procrastinated and not done what you needed to do to prepare, or you may be reacting as an emergency. Again, that fire personality of, I'm so busy, I can't talk to you right now. There are also daily tasks. These are tasks that are assigned that you need to complete every day because they're simply part of your job and part of your responsibilities. But your most important tasks and assignments that help you bring more value to your day. They contribute a little bit more extra to your day and help you stretch your skill sets. And they move you out of your comfort zone. I like to say that if you're not feeling a little bit uncomfortable in your everyday learning, you're not stretching yourself. So step outside of your comfort zone, stretch a little bit yourself a little bit more. Take on some maybe tasks and assignments if time permits, and stretch yourself a little bit more professionally. Your most important task is a task you would like to accomplish during the day, whether that's an urgent task or whether that's a task that you just want to do for professional development. It's your most important task. Schedule it out, figure out when you're going to accomplish that. This is going to bring professional growth, whether you're in college or if you're somebody that's been 20 years into their career like myself. But at the end of each day, I want you to identify your next day's most important task and then schedule that in. So maybe you've been putting off calling a relative. You're going to schedule. You're going to make that a most important task. You're going to make that a priority for the next day. Yes, you're going to have assignments and deadlines and all these other things that need to accomplish, but one of your most important tasks is calling that relative that you have been meaning to call, or a friend, or whatever. Early rise. This is something that I know Nikki and Rachel, you guys briefly talked about in their previous podcast, and absolutely early risers. Now, a lot of people work first shifts, so your early risers are going to be like 5:30 a.m.s. They can get a workout in, they can do some pre-reading for the day. Be careful, doom scrolling is not an early riser activity. 10 out of 10 don't recommend. But I think it's fairly self-explanatory. Now, I worked 9 years at a global shipping organization where my time was third shift. So my early rise time was a lot different than somebody that was working first shift. So of course, you're going to be a little bit more adaptable to what's going on in your life circumstances. But even in the military, so in basic boot camp, in the Marine Corps, one of the very first things they teach you is make your rack. As soon as you get up for the day, you don't even put on a sock, you're making your rack. It's because they want you to have one accomplishment before you even start your day. So figure out what that's going to be for yourself. The next time is scheduled focused work time. Generally, it's like a 10-minute block of time where you put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You put a sign on your door if you're in the professional world, or if you're in the dorm world, or wherever. You put up a little sign, this is my focus time, do not disturb. DND, do not disturb. And if you're somebody that takes pride in the multitasking, I hate to break it to you, if you didn't already know this, there's really no such thing as multitasking. There might be taking on a lot of tasks at one time, but you're really not focusing your brain on three tasks simultaneously. You're spending 2 minutes on this task, you're spending 2 minutes on this task, 2 minutes on this task, and then you're going to come back to that first task because you're not giving your very full undivided attention. If you're that multitasker like I thought I used to be, or like I thought I was, set some focus time for yourself. 5-10 minutes, focus on that one task. You're going to be surprised with focused time just how much you can actually get accomplished. I want to briefly touch on the ideal calendar plus an adaptable schedule. So even for you guys, I encourage you to set an ideal calendar. You're planning out your whole semester. So for me, myself, every morning you'll notice I have administrative prep time. Every day I have a set lunchtime. I plan this out for the rest of the year. Every day I'm put on my calendar that I have a post plan. Every single day, I know that needs to get done. Every single meeting, I know I have a team meeting that attend. I put that in my calendar for the whole year. I know that there's a Monday morning development meeting, and I know there's a Thursday morning development meeting. I put that everything, I built that in my calendar. I put the days off. If you plan on taking some time off to go visit family later, put it on your calendar. Why? Because now, the week before, when I build out my following week's schedule, I know just by looking at this and I color code everything, my pink is specifically for college and internship focus. I know that I'm going to be spending a lot of time on campus. Right at the top of my calendar, I know we have an event going on. I can see which team members are out of the office. I can plan my days accordingly or my projects accordingly because I know I know they're going to be unavailable. I know exactly when my interview times are going to be. If you notice, even on Friday, it says hold initial. So when I build the next week's calendar, I put all the time slots in on when I expect to have interviews. And two reasons. One, because now I had set a goal for myself that I need to have that many interviews completed in that week. And the less time slots that are available, the more interviews I'm going to have. But two, I'm setting myself up for success. So when I'm calling a candidate on the phone, I know I don't have to figure out, oh my gosh, okay, this is their schedule. I need to figure them in. I already know immediately. Managing my time. It is a tool that I've used to identify quickly while I'm on the phone where I'm not devoting my entire attention to my calendar. I can go ahead, get that appointment scheduled, and move on to the next day. I also built in my drive time. So if you know you're going to be heading out with friends or if you know you're going to have an offsite campus activity, build out your drive time, put it on your calendar. Whether you have a written calendar or it's on your phone, build out your calendar. You are going to be surprised on just how much time you have in a day if you can just get your calendar organized. Think about, you may have seen the Eisenhower matrix before. You have your rocks, your pebbles, your sand, your water. So those major tasks, those tasks that you need to accomplish, your mitts, those are your rocks. Once you figure out where your rocks are, then you can start filling up your personal jar with those pebbles. And then those tasks, like, do I really need to get those accomplished? Yeah, I kind of want to get that accomplished. That's your sand. And then you're able to fill up. But if you fill your day up with those small, mundane tasks that you want to check your Facebook and you want to check or your TikToks or maybe just a simple email that can wait, you're filling up all your time. Now you're not going to have any time for your big rocks. You're not going to have any time for the things that you are trying to accomplish for that day. Um, I want you to take action immediately on tasks. So we briefly mentioned Mel Robbins, right? She has this book called The 5 Second Rule, and
I
it's
love it.
something that you can apply to your everyday life as well. So when it comes to a task and it's something that you can accomplish immediately, maybe it's a 30-second email. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do it, complete it, move on. Don't dwell on it, just go. And that's going to help the perfectionist people. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go, do it, move on. Um, Again, really good opportunity to use scheduled focus time. Guys, time is a choice. All right. Of course, there will be terrible consequences if you don't make certain choices, but in the long run, it is a choice. And Laura Vanderkam said that at a TED Talk, and it's somebody that I was introduced to just as I was starting to get onto my very first board of directors, where I was finding myself saying yes to everybody and to everything. And if you can just realize just how important and valuable your time, not your family's time, not your professor's time, but your time. You can appreciate your time, which means then you can appreciate those of your professors, of your friends, of your colleagues, etc. Um, if you're not going to make it a priority, nobody else is going to make it a priority for you. So it's a lot of information.
That was really good though. That was amazing. Like, wow. I mean, the 25 minutes flew by. That
I
was
know it's a lot of
amazing.
talking, but
No, that was so good though. I was taking notes the whole time. I loved your four steps. Identify your most important task, rise early, scheduled, focused work time, and then your calendar. Your calendar, though, I was like, whoa.
yeah. And the important thing, and I'll quickly just touch base on that, that I cannot stress enough. I wish somebody would have told me just how important having a calendar was. Because you can see like Thursday, I had to take PTO day because I have some family things that I need to take care of. But even in the evenings, I planned out my time. You could see Monday I had to drive to Orlando. There was an event that took place there, so I knew I had drive time afterwards. Um, I had to put my study time on there for myself. I have three kiddos, so I need to also manage their schedules. But if I can't get a hold of my schedule, there's no way in heck I'm going to be able to help them with theirs. Putting these things down, writing these things down, it's a lot harder than it seems. It's an actual like skill that you have to build. But I'm telling you, once you can get yourself into a rhythm of actually doing it, you're going to find yourself having more time to do the things that you actually care about.
No, 100%. And I think about time like I think about money because like if you don't budget your money, like your money will spend itself. So you
Exactly.
have to spend your money or it will spend itself. And I think about that as well as I think about time because time is going to go by one way or the other. And if you're not in control of it, it's going to you're going to lose it. And I feel the exact same way. Like I have a calendar that I go by as well. I'm kind of old school. I like to have a physical calendar because I like to cross things off. I get a lot of satisfaction of writing stuff down and then crossing it off. And that started in my undergrad work when that's probably where my perfectionist came from too, because it's like I got such a kick out of getting, really good grades and wanting to be, feeling accomplished, feeling very productive. So as I would write stuff on my calendar, I couldn't cross the day off. I couldn't end my day until I crossed everything off that list. And as a mother myself, I have two children. And then working full time and grad school and everything. And so I have to know exactly what's expected of me every day, and then of course my meetings and my classes, and then what's going on in my work day, and then what's going on in my personal day, and then what's going on in my educational day, and what's going on with my sons. So 100% a calendar is big time. And I like the rise early. I do that myself. I get up early, and I like what you said about doom scrolling. Don't get up and get on your phone. One, that's depleting all of your dopamine, which is the highest when you first wake up.
Yes,
And 20, 30, 40 minutes goes by, and you're like, oh, there
easily.
goes that early morning that I just got up early for, and now it's gone.
Exactly, exactly. And you brought up two really good points. So one, time being busy does not mean you're productive,
No.
right? So again, understanding where that time management behavior is, you can identify what that means to you. But even when you transition into your professional life, just because you're busy does not mean you're being productive. In some cases, it can mean just the opposite. I forgot what the second point to that was, but oh, lunches. Even for you guys right now in school, guys, plan your lunch. It's if you do not respect your lunchtime, your friends aren't going to respect it, your future employer is not going to respect it. So if there's a few things that you put on your calendar, make sure it's those basics: morning routine, your lunchtime, and your after hour routine as well, because those are you times and
Mhm.
nobody else is going to respect that time if you don't respect that time for yourself.
No, yeah, because if you're saying yes too fast, what the message you're sending is that you don't respect that time, then therefore no one else is. And so then the people are just going to pile stuff onto your calendar and get it off of their calendar. So like, oh yeah, they'll just say yes because they don't care. And that's not, maybe you're thinking, oh, well, I'll just take on more because I want to be seen as a team player. I want to be seen
Exactly.
as someone who will take on, the initiative. I want to be someone who goes above and beyond. But if you're going so far above and beyond, then you become like that doormat and you're saying like, hey, I'm not respecting my time. Who then if you don't respect your time, why should I respect your time? So that's a good
Exactly.
point, Ashley. Like, respect your downtime because that is your time to recharge.
Mhm.
If you don't recharge and take care of yourself, you can't show up. for
No.
your job. You can't show up for yourself. You can't show up for your family. It's really important that you do take time for yourself because there's no medal at the end of the day for someone who just wears themselves thin and ragged and they're just depleted.
And there really isn't. Burnout is real.
It
Burnout
is.
is real, and it doesn't matter how far or early on you are in your career. Burnout is real. So if it comes down because it's a time issue, identify your time. Write it out. Have a time journal. Now, there's a lot of other techniques that we can come into, but figure out what your time management personality is and then use that to your advantage. Don't necessarily think of it as a weakness. Figure out what tools you can use to complement that personality or that behavior.
Oh, this was awesome. I think we could probably go another 30, probably even an hour talk about this. It's such a great topic. Students, thank you so much for joining us. I put the QR code back up on the screen for you, so please make sure you scan that for attendance or click the link in the chat pod. Ashley, thank you again for your time. Guys, please connect with her on LinkedIn. Ashley will also be joining us later tonight for mocktails.
Very much.
Right? Yep, you'll be there tonight. So I'm very excited about that. So we hope to see you guys tonight. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Ashley. Everyone else, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on campus. Bye, everyone.
So.
And now I got to find how to stop share and stop all this and end it. All right, Ashley, thank you. I'll see you tonight.
All right, Megan, take care.